curious, observant. Every day, massive, heavily entangled legacy IT systems process the core operations of global enterprises. But as these aging monolithic structures begin groaning under the weight of modern traffic, the pressure on companies to modernize becomes immense. When executives look for a fast escape from this pressure, the cloud is the obvious destination. The most common, seemingly safe route to get there is a strategy known as lift and shift. Lift and shift is exactly what it sounds like. You take an existing legacy application and move it directly onto a modern cloud infrastructure without altering or rewriting any of the underlying business logic. For a chief financial officer, this approach has immediate appeal. It promises a fast execution timeline and requires a very low CapEx. CapEx, or capital expenditure, refers to the money a company spends to buy, maintain, or improve its fixed assets. By keeping those upfront costs down, the short-term return on investment looks excellent on paper, but relocating a system is not the same as upgrading it. Choosing to skip the hard work of rewriting code is a financial deferral tactic. It keeps the balance sheet clean today while guaranteeing severe systemic consequences down the road. When an enterprise migrates a system as a closed black box, it preserves every internal flaw. Every poorly written loop, brittle dependency, and temporary patch is carried over to the new environment. This schematic shows the internal structure of a typical monolithic system. Research indicates that 68% of these legacy environments rely heavily on undocumented workarounds, fragile, mismatched patches that are completely invisible during a surface-level migration. Post-migration, these hidden flaws create a severe drag on OpEx. OpEx, or operational expenses, are the day-to-day costs a company incurs to keep its business running. Maintaining a legacy architecture in a modern, elastic cloud environment increases these maintenance costs by 20 to 25% annually. And when those fragile workarounds eventually fail, the resulting downtime costs enterprises an average of $5,600 every single minute. Moving bad code to a new server achieves zero business transformation. It simply turns the cloud into a highly expensive hosting layer for technical debt. If the data proves that surface-level migrations lead to expensive operational bloat, why do executives continue to authorize them? The root cause is fear. The developers who originally wrote the core business logic years ago have often retired, taking their institutional knowledge with them. IT leaders are terrified to alter deep, load-bearing code that no one in the building fully understands. Code Aura attacks this exact psychological barrier with a methodology called knowledge-first modernization. They argue that rebuilding your understanding of the code is the mandatory prerequisite to actually transforming it. The rule is simple. You cannot successfully fix, scale, or modernize a complex software system until you have fully mapped its behaviors. To build that map, Code Aura's process starts by taking the tangled legacy codebase and having it ingested into an artificial intelligence engine for comprehensive analysis. This diagram illustrates the document and understand phase. The AI automatically extracts hidden business logic and structures it into a clear, navigable knowledge graph. A knowledge graph is a data model that maps out real-world entities and the exact relationships between them, allowing developers to see exactly how different parts of the software interact. With the map in place, Code Aura's deep file analysis pinpoints structural technical debt. It isolates bloated code and flags severely outdated architectural patterns that are quietly draining compute resources. Next is the modernize phase. Instead of blindly moving the inefficient nodes, the AI identifies precise refactoring opportunities. It structurally reroutes the bad architecture into streamlined pathways, fixing the system before it ever touches the cloud. This chart tracks the financial impact of that AI-assisted modernization. By eliminating manual analysis errors and targeted rework, this method cuts total code conversion costs by up to 38% compared to manual migrations. Code Aura replaces manual guesswork with an AI-driven, predictable framework. It balances the initial CapEx investment with guaranteed long-term operational savings. A standard migration leaves a company with a rigid, tightly coupled monolith that is terrified of change. Code Aura's process results in a dynamic, fully reconstructed architecture. Because the code has been thoroughly mapped and optimized, the system is now API first, An API, or Application Programming Interface, is a set of rules that allows different software applications to communicate with each other. This means the newly rebuilt system can natively scale in the cloud and easily plug into modern AI tools. Applying system intelligence at this level allows enterprises to stop treating modernization as a panic-driven one-off IT project. It becomes a continuous practice of portfolio management, where software assets are regularly analyzed and optimized based on real data. This dual approach satisfies the entire executive suite. The CFO gets the strict cost visibility required to manage budgets, and the CTO gets the clean, adaptable architecture required to build new products. Lift and Shift merely takes your existing technical problems and relocates them to a new server. CodeAura reconstructs your core system intelligence to actually solve them.